gamescom.
J'avais pas vu que l'event Xbox avait commencé, du coup on va regarder ça. Je reviens, mais dans l'idée.
Sports cars and potato chips, that's the car for you, right? But we're about to check out Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters, Melee remastered, The Wolf Among Us remastered, and Mega Man Dual Override, and loads more stuff here at Gamescom.
Our homes were destroyed. Our kin were enslaved. For the sins lost everything.
Okay.
Always do, unless they ask for it.
Finally! So this is the Marmot Village?
Chop you to pieces!
Toss me there. The Rat Pack is at your doorstep and you're fighting over your treasure?
Heaven thunder! Strike! Oh, I like that!
Hands off, Tracy!
Bingo!
Let me take the swing!
Partisans, stay united! To arms!
Hand over the spark!
Come and get me!
This, the hope of the world?
Welcome back to Gamescom Studio here at IGN. I'm Damon Hatfield. I'm sitting here with my fellow Omega Cop, Sam Claiborne.
Hey, it's good to be here, Damon.
And Sam, it's hard to believe, that's a cliche we're not supposed to use in the industry. You don't open an article or video with "it's hard to believe." And yet, it is hard to believe that right over there is a giant booth for a 2D Castlevania game in the year 2026.
Yeah, like in 2026, a 2D Castlevania game has a giant E3 style booth.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it again, where you can just go play a Castlevania that feels like you're playing a game in 1996.
Well,
a sequel
yeah.
to Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse.
Yes, yeah, a sequel to that. I mean, back in '97, when Symphony of the Night was released, you go back and read EGM there. This game looks or they would say this game is really fun in spite of looking really old. And now we're in the year 2026. And a 2D Castlevania game has its own booth. Sam got to play this new game, Castlevania Belmont's Curse, which I'm very excited for. It's out in just a couple months. Sam, please tell us your first impressions of playing this game.
So I went into this game really wanting to know, does this feel like the Symphony of the Night through the Game Boy era of Castlevania games? Now, there's been Castlevania games since then. There's the Dead Cells Castlevania spinoff.
Yep.
All those have different feels and they do their own thing. But this game, I really want it to look modern but feel old school. And I will tell you, it found a middle ground there because it feels great. First of all, I have no complaints. It feels faster and more agile than you've ever been as a Belmont, really. But what do you do in this game? You kind of maraud around a map. You pause a lot. You look at that map all the time, and you think, where am I supposed to be going right now? And that is my favorite type of game ever.
I mean, we talk about this on GameScoop, the only gaming podcast, quite often. What these games are about, Metroidvania games are about, they're about getting to a save point and then seeing how far you can push out, seeing if you can make it to the next save point.
Yep.
Like that's basically what you're doing in these games. And that appears to be what Belmont's Curse is, yes?
It's exactly what the gameplay loop is. And I think it's really neat that in old Castlevania games, you start out with this kind of Belmont shuffle. You can barely, you kind of move kind of slow. You can hop. Sometimes you can get up to the platform you're trying to hop to. Most of the time, Medusa's just going to knock you to your death.
Yep.
In this game, you actually come at it with a lot more skills to begin with. You can in the demo I played, I was already gripping a wall, bouncing off walls, jumping up, and then I got the grapple hook. And obviously, grappling is the coolest thing you can actually do in a video game is having a grapple
That's true.
hook.
That's true.
Right? If it's part of your bionic arm, that's even better. But in this case, it worked out really well. So I had to kill a boss to get that upgrade, and then I was swinging around like a maniac, and it just felt like you just kind of moved to a quicker paced, more modern Castlevania quickly, but you still have to pause all the time, look at the map, and think, where the heck am I? Where is I supposed to be going?
In your brief time with the game, did you find turkey inside of a wall?
I 100% did.
Good.
I found a big, roast, juicy bust of turkey in the wall, and it was like totally right where you expected it.
There it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is made by the folks behind Dead Cells and then the Return to Castlevania Dead Cells DLC. So Dead Cells obviously very inspired by Castlevania, and then Return to Castlevania, a very loving homage to Castlevania. But Dead Cells is pixel art. It's not pixel art. What do you think of the art style?
Yeah, so the art style, what it needs to do is match the ability to get around and the ability to kill skeletons and stuff like that. And kind of understand what you're doing. And everything just looks really clear and nice and honestly badass. And there's a little bit of a different thing this game is doing, which I thought made it feel a little bit more modern. So beyond the graphics, when you fight a boss and then you beat the boss, you get a skill. You get a passive, or you get I beat a boss and I got like the ability to throw a cross out. That of course.
Il y a beaucoup de ça en ce moment, dans les jeux en monde ouvert et ça.
And then he also gave me the
grippy
grappling hook. But what was cool about it is that after I killed that boss, he absorbed his power. You know, a lot of these games they could drop something and you kind of absorb it. That's how it all works. In this one, he talked. You have a conversation with that boss after that happens, and he's like, I don't know what happened there. I was just being a monster, and then somebody came and started whipping me with a whip. You know, it's like in The Witcher when Geralt is like, I'll take care of your monster problem. And then he goes into a cave, and like some big monster's like, I wasn't even messing with them. And then Geralt's like, fine, how about we just settle this with gold? And then you kill the monster anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you do in this game. And I just thought that was kind of neat. There was a little bit of a voice acting part, and you kind of talk to the the beast for a little bit.
Yeah. So Symphony of the Night is a loot game. You're constantly finding new weapons and armor that are increasing your stats or maybe decreasing your stats or adding buffs or nerfs. Is that part of this game as well?
So this game has a completely overhauled system where you have more of an RPG setup, and you should really check out our preview by Mitchell Saltzman, because he explains how this works with the different weapons. But what I did find in whipping every wall, which looked like a dead end, which is a core element of the gameplay here, is I whipped too far once, and I discovered an attack power up. So it just gave me an attack up. And a lot of the other drops I saw were more like, a cup of tea that restored my health, meat behind walls.
Spots of tea.
So yeah, it was more stuff like that. But obviously, I just explained that a monster dropped a giant weapon upgrade for me too. So there's that type of stuff.
Another couple cool details. We're playing as Rose Belmont, the daughter of Trevor and Sypha, who were both in Castlevania 3, but also from the Netflix animated series. And what's cool is that Sypha is apparently in the game because the voice actress that played her in the Netflix series is in here, and also the same voice actor that played Dracula is here in the game too. So that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, what's even crazier is somehow Dracula came back.
Somehow Dracula returned.
Somehow Dracula returned. The Drac came back, and so. Again, Dracula's Curse is Castlevania 3 for NES, and this is takes place a couple decades after that, with the kids from two characters in that game, which is like,
Merde. Ah, that's ce que je voulais faire.
just the craziest.
So still in prequel territory.
Yeah, they had just kind of invented ways to hide meat in walls at this point. I think that's the lore, at least.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, so Castlevania Belmont's Curse is out October 15th. We're both lifelong Castlevania fans. I haven't gotten a chance to play it myself yet, but since Sam has, Sam, you're excited.
We got to go over there.
Well, we have to go to.
We'll go over there.
I don't know. It looks a little spooky.
It might be spooky.
But you
it's
came
spooky
away.
Season, though.
It is. Well, it's almost spooky season. It can always be spooky season inside here.
There's a little skeleton.
What I'm trying to get you to say is whether or not you feel good about the game.
100%, I feel good about this game, and I can't wait to play more of it, which I'm gonna go do.
Un canard. T'as mon cousin sur la télé. Il y a deux canards sur la
Belmont's
télé.
Curse out October 15th. For much more from Gamescom, stick with us right here at IGN.
You're watching Gamescom on IGN. Mega Man Dual Override is the brand new entry in the classic Mega Man franchise, and my boy Cardi right here got to play it here at Gamescom. I need to know about this. Tell me about Mega Man Dual Override.
Yes, I may be a boy, but he is a man, a Mega Man. Mega Man Dual Override, in all but name, feels like Mega Man 12, right?
Okay.
The last mainline Mega Man game was almost a decade now, Mega Man 11, and this kind of feels like, to me, like trying to, not quite a reboot of the series, but trying to get new fans in, because there was classic Mega Man action. I think like maybe the first game I ever played might have been Mega Man when I was like 3 or 4 on the NES. Like Mega Man 2 and 3 I played to death. I was probably better at them at the age of 4 than I am now, somehow. But I think there's a nice blend of classic Mega Man here with a lot of new sort of quality of life updates that make it a bit more approachable. I will admit I haven't played the last couple of mainline Mega Man games, so I'm sorry if I'm giving false information here, but like there seems to be quite nice checkpoints into levels. I remember old school Mega Man, it was harsh. It was like a couple of lives and then you just start all over again.
Je vais fermer les volets, il fait trop chaud.
Are not necessarily concerned about, because I think you nailed it, right? Like, how do you service an audience of people who have been playing these really difficult games for a really long time, memorizing bullet patterns and boss orders and stuff like that, and you do little things like you put a checkpoint in front of a boss's door.
Yes.
If you don't need it, don't use it. Just don't die if you're so good. But if you do die, because you're not good. That's a nice little thing. Now, I wanted to ask you specifically about this new dual override system, because before you hop into a level, you get to choose one of 3 different parameters, correct?
Yes, and I'm not sure that's actually linked to the dual override thing. I think they're 2 separate things. So you get to pick 3 different chipsets at the start of a stage. So there is classic Mega Man, so like no bonuses, and you're given Rush the dog to use whenever you want. If you want to hop a little bit higher, you don't know who Rush is, he's got a little jumpy dog you can hop on and get a little bit of extra boost. Or you can use the kinder options that make the game a little bit easier if you choose to. So there's a defensive one, which then if you press on one of the bumpers, you get a little shield that protects you from damage, and also a little E-tank to use. And there's the aggressive one that'll just give you like a double charge shot, I believe. And one other thing, sorry, at the top of my memory, I can't remember. It'll probably be on screen right now though, so you can see it. I can only play one of the levels, which was Twinkle Girl, one of the robot masters in this game. Yes, and there is 3 stages of her levels. So to get to her, I had to do 2 levels, a third, and then it was the main boss. And I started off on the first 2 thinking, I've played Mega Man before, I can do this.
Yeah.
So I chose the no help option, and I'd rushed the dog, who didn't help me at all. But I did okay with that, and I got to the second stage boss, who, intriguingly, is just a copy of Astro Man from Mega Man 8.
That's great. I love that. So wait, there's a chance that this game's going to have a bunch of like sort of Easter egg classic references, and they're not going to be the main evil robot bosses. They'll just be hanging out.
Exactly. I think partway through each of the new bosses, you'll get maybe, I don't want to say ever, I've only played one of them, but like maybe you'll get those returning characters. And it was exactly the same like patterns and moves as Astro Man had in Mega Man 8. And that's kind of like a plus adding a negative for me, because I was like, oh, that's kind of nice bit of nostalgia for fighting that boss, and I know how to do this kind of.
Yep.
But also, I was like, I would like it maybe to be a bit more of a remix of that, like some new things in some mix, take you like throw you a little bit off. So I'm kind of split on that. I like that, like we said there, looking after the long-term fans, but also giving some like new bits for people who aren't as familiar with the series.
So you got to see the boss select screen, but it was all grayed out, correct?
Yes, it was all question marks apart from Twinkle Girl, who was taken over some sort of like facility, and you have to try and get all the way to her. You've got the classic mix of Mega Man platforming and shooting with the blaster, and it's just kind of, it just felt like old school Mega Man. That's what I can say. Like, I kind of struggle with new things to say, because like, if you play Mega Man, you kind of know what's going on here.
You know how to slide, you know how to shoot, you know how to jump on rush.
It's got the familiar enemies, you know, the little guys with the hard hats who poke up when you get too close. It's got those guys.
There was some discussion when the trailer was first revealed. Obviously, huge surprise, because Mega Man fans have been hungry for a long time.
Yes.
About how the art direction didn't line up with the originals. You know, it's sort of the same thing you're seeing with the new Castlevania game, where a beloved franchise comes back. It's not pixel art anymore, but it's doing its own thing. It's really stylish and really cool. How did you like what you saw based on just the art direction so far?
I liked it. It felt like a modernization of that sort of classic look to me. Like, I don't need, like, I'm not someone who has great nostalgia for pixel art necessarily. I love the way it looked then. I like pushing things forward, trying new things. I will say the music was good. It still had that, like, Mega Man to me is like the music is such a core memory.
Yes.
It powers those levels, and it sounded really good. So yeah, in terms of how the game looked, I liked it. There was some flashy animations, such as when you trigger the dual override mechanic, which makes you more powerful for a brief period of time. Really cool, like almost anime-esque, you know, like bursts of color and light as his suit kind of expands and like almost transforms a little bit. Like, that was cool. And yeah, the actual animations on the Twinkle Girl boss fight, which I think we can show up a bit here. Annoyingly, this footage here was provided by Capcom, and it shows them losing the boss fight. I want to guarantee to everyone, I beat that boss fight. And they said I was one of the quickest people to beat that boss, so I want to know that I beat that boss fight, despite it not being shown here. Twinkle Girl was defeated by me. Had these really cool like firework patterns, which you can like dance in and out of, and just like, whereas Astro Man actually took me much longer to take down, despite me being familiar with him. I preferred fighting Twinkle Girl. She was me easier to take down, more of like a glass cannon of a boss, kind of dealt heavy damage, but if you could dodge it, you could defeat her quite easily. So yeah.
So you have beaten the boss.
Yes.
Doesn't happen in the footage.
No, I promise
we believe you. So if you're watching, you're gonna have to just find something different to be upset about.
I'm not a liar.
I believe you.
I'm not lying.
I swear I believe you.
Yeah.
I swear I believe you. Talk to me a little bit about the level design, because that was one of my favorite things in the old games, was sort of the sort of ebb and flow from going to screen, and then having like mini bosses and like, so obviously platforming, there's shooting, like how did all of that look and feel to you?
It all blends in like that classic way that felt really good. You are going from screen to screen. On the third of the 3 levels, it did get a bit more complex. There was little, like, you have to be almost pixel perfect with the platforming, like hopping from little thing to little thing, and they just throwing an annoying enemy your way. So the first time you cross that little gap, you're not going to know they're there, and you will die, and it will be annoying. But the next time, that's the whole point of Mega Man. It's the new game. Mega Man is kind of, you know, learning those levels, and like you said before, learning the bullet patterns, like that kind of reflex memory of like wanting to do these levels in as quick a time as you can, and kind of becoming the robot master yourself.
So you did have access to one of the sort of transformations, right, that you unlocked, but you weren't sure who it belonged to.
Yes,
do you have any clues?
Sure. It was a turquoise suit with like an orange little trim. It was kind of like these big like force blast pushes I was doing that were dealing heavy damage.
At all, your physical discs continue to work as they always have. You can display them with your collector's editions and just celebrate your collection. And it's really about adding more flexibility and providing more choice for you as a player.
I mean, I love that. You mentioned having a collection that spans loads of years. I know for sure I've got a game or...
So you get their enemies and knowing which enemy is weak against which ammo type. And so yeah, I'm intrigued to see more. I miss Mega Man. It was good to have him back.
That's wonderful. No release date right now.
No.
We know it's coming out next year, though. Or as much as that means when anyone says that something's coming soon with the video game anymore. But until then, we've got lots more video game coverage right here at IGN, covering all things Gamescom, the biggest video game convention in the world. So keep it locked and leave a nice comment for Simon Cardy, who definitely beat Twinkle Girl.
I did. She's dead.
He did. Wow. Whoa. That's messed up, man.
IGN's coverage of Gamescom 2026 is presented by Metro 2039.
The average Cinefix movie list features nearly 100 different films and approximately...
Sure to delight fans everywhere, so take a look.
The black gold is in there.
Let's go.
At last, I've got you.
It seems those fools let you slip away. Last time you had a drunk. This time a cripple.
Last time, you ambushed us. We were outnumbered. Today, we set the trap. Knowing that the Lodestar Swordmaster wanted the black gold, how could I not be ready? Ever since that day, my only goal has been to find you. To kill you myself!
After all this time, you've still learned nothing. Serving yourself up like this, what a tragic waste of poor Han's sacrifice.
Je pensais qu'elle allait faire en sorte que les autres ne sachent plus qui est qui. J'aime bien. Mais par contre, là, le son est trop fort par rapport à ma voix, j'ai l'impression. Je cherche mon curseur. Je le perds avec la neige en fait. C'est peut-être de trop là. Elle avait l'air chaos, c'est le moment d'attaquer là. Ah, les graphismes, il faut un peu jeu mobile. Hein. Jeu mobile moderne, mais jeu mobile, je trouve. Les transitions sont bizarres. Elle a un fauteuil roulant hélicoptère.
The Skyward City is moving. Artificers, what do you want?
Huh?
I see now.
That old rat played me. Used me as a pawn.
You won't get away!
If we take flight, the black gold will destroy the city.
Gears of War fans have been eagerly anticipating Gears of War E-Day since it was announced in 2024. And here to chat a little bit about everything they've got going on at Gamescom this week from the Coalition, please welcome Studio Creative Director Matt Searcy and Studio Art Director Arian Hambeck. Guys, welcome. Thanks for coming and joining us.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. Now, you obviously had opening night live last night, had an incredible story trailer. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that story trailer, obviously, when we craft trailers, it's a bit of a love letter to the game, to the fans. And with that story trailer, we really wanted to show off some new elements from the campaign we haven't been able to share yet. Obviously, Vrak at the beginning, but also our story is about, the origin story of Dom and Marcus from Bravo Squad. But there's so many more characters in our story, and they all have character arcs as well. So we got to show a bunch of people that are there fighting alongside you in E-Day.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned Vrak, right? Can you tell us a little bit about him? Because he looks mean.
Yeah, he definitely is. Yeah. So Vrak is a Locust commander, in the Locust army. If you look closely, you can see that he's got a lot of shit going on his face. He's missing an eye. He's got burns on his arm. So all that happened during the Lambent Wars. So he's seasoned. He has kind of a private army that follows him around called the Scorched Legion.
Yeah.
So they're, into self-mutilation. There's lots of really dark, kind of nasty stuff that they do to themselves and to the citizens of Sarah. And I think overall, Vrak just represents, he's like the personification of the brutality and the actions that they do. They just want to kill everything they see, including the squad.
Yeah, he honestly, when he was just pouring that emulsion over people, I'm just there like, that's horrible.
Yeah.
But also, some of the weaponry and stuff that comes from that squad looks so fun to use.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, campaign is a huge focus here at Gamescom. We've got it on the booth over here. Can you tell us a little bit about what people are going to be able to play when they come and play on the booth?
Yeah, for sure. So we have a little bit of our beginning of Act 2. So it kind of starts the morning after E-Day. The squad has just come together, armored up, and they get sent on their first mission. So we get to play a bit of that. It's got this classical kind of gears. You're supporting another squad, going toe-to-toe with the Locust. And it's actually a subsection of the campaign preview that we just got to see get released online, a bunch of video and coverage of that came out, which is a little bit larger. That goes a little bit past what we've got on the show floor, but everybody here gets to get their hands on it. They get to hang out with the squad and some fun new characters as well.
I actually had a lot of fun this morning watching people like Shadows and Hollow who were playing early, and I was like, it looks so good. But all through the background of this mission, we can see a lot of the kind of details of the city of Kelowna. Can you tell us a bit about what people are going to be able to see around the world to kind of really help build that environment?
Yeah, absolutely. So for the first time ever, you're playing a Gears game in a city that is alive.
Yeah.
Every other game has been destroyed. Everything's been destroyed. So that provides some really interesting opportunities and challenges. We really need to think about what was happening in the place when this event happened and life just got suspended, in one shot. So I think fans, when they play the game, they're going to be able to there's lots of storytelling, from something simple as a piece of paper on the ground, what's written on it, to what's, there's a meal that someone was eating when the Locust came out of the ground, to more complex set pieces where there's a bunch of dead bodies and maybe they got dragged somewhere. So I think, it does pay to slow down just a little bit while you're playing the game and look around and just really take in all the detail that we really love putting into the game.
You can also see in shots like that where you get glimpses of this whole city, which we built. We built the whole city, which is really cool. And there's this battle going on everywhere, right? So you see helicopters go by, you crisscross with other squads, which is what's happening in this mission. Just this kind of vibe that there's always a battle sort of raging across the city and you're just weaving your way through it.
Yeah.
I think also one of the things we do have to touch on, and you'll see this throughout the gameplay you're watching, it's like the destructible environment. It looks incredible.
Yeah, for sure. Gears has always had destructible cover in it. We've taken it to a few different steps here. You see some larger buildings come down at different moments in the game, just to make you constantly realize that not only is the immediate area around you having a battle in it, but the entire city, whether it's a block away, you can hear gunfire, you see a building come down, you see a little block of a street go down. It's all happening live as you play the game.
Now, everything we're watching right now is single player, but Gears fans always want to know about co-op.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, of course. So co-op is near and dear to our hearts. I think it's one of the unique things that Gears has, sort of woven into every part of it. You know, our story is about squads overcoming the odds together. We've got modes like Horde Siege that are about multiple squads of 4 coming together. Of course, we've got PvP, which is 4v4. So campaign's got 4-player online co-op, 2-player split screen on console. All 4 players in the squad are playable, all 4 characters. And I think it's one of those games that it plays great on its own, but it just sort of comes to life when you're there with a friend, you know, your ride or die buddy like Marcus and Dom. A lot of our mechanics sort of come to life a little bit more in terms of our enemies, obviously DB&O and a bunch of other stuff. It's a great experience.
Yeah, you see it a few times, like if you get downs, like Dom coming to save you and stuff like that.
Yeah, different kinds of it, right? We have the rusher enemy that'll pin you, and he'll be on top of you so your buddy can come and stab him in the neck, or if you're playing with someone real, they can shoot him from far away. There's all sorts of examples like that.
Yeah, I'm so excited like to hop on with the rest of the Xbox One team. There's all 4 of us like kind of flying our way through. It's going to be a lot of fun. But one of the other things in what I really like about Gears is there are multiple ways that you can approach scenarios. Like this is a bit more of a linear mission that you've said in the past, but what ways are people going to be able to approach different like situations they're going to come across?
Yeah, so this is definitely a little bit more of a linear mission, but even within this mission on this bridge, you know, we've added a bunch of verticality to the game. It opens new flanking routes. You can climb up cars and trucks. And then this mission specifically, at the beginning of Act 2, is sort of leads into this other part of Act 2 on the other side of the stadium that you catch a glimpse of in our campaign preview, where the world opens up a little bit. We give you access to like multiple city blocks. There's a bunch of battles, like I said, going on different corners. You're always on your main objective. And we also add some new mechanics to the campaign. So we have our weapon mod system that people got to see in Horde Siege, and that actually gets introduced as you play through the campaign. You get to find new mods and craft your own weapons and really invest in the gameplay sandbox.
Yeah, now this is actually something I got really excited about when I was like watching through the gameplay earlier as well, is what kind of mods are people going to be able to get their hands on, and how is that going to impact like the weapons that they're using?
Well, it's a variety of mods, and some of them do little tweaks to the weapons. You know, they change the clip size or your range, so you can just tweak it to your preference, but some of them are like full-on attachments, like you can take an Asher and slap a bayonet on it.
Yeah, so it's been really fun exploring, you know, when you use an attachment, some of them have visual representations on the gun, some of them don't, but you end up seeing people with different attachments. The guns can take a little bit more personality, and you start to understand how people like to play and what they like to do with their guns.
Yeah, I also like it goes for the gear as well, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how are people going to be able to like find those like kind of mods to like upgrade their equipment?
In the campaign, that's where the open sections really sort of come to life. There's a variety of ways you can get it. It pays to explore this game. You know, Arian was talking about there's a ton of environmental storytelling, but we've also hidden stuff around the world, collectibles, mods. We also have side objectives in some of our campaign missions where you can stop to help somebody optionally, another set of gears, some people that are trapped, and you get rewards for those as well. So it's really up to you. If you want to mainline it and do the main objectives, that's cool. You'll find some mods. If you want to fully explore the game, you'll find even more narrative tidbits.
I'm really excited for that, because you can just spend that extra time discovering the world if you want to.
There's good surprises out there.
I'm looking forward to finding them. Now, we've just had our first look at the Boomer, and he is way bigger than people may be used to.
Yeah, he's massive. There's actually a Boomer on the show floor here that people are taking pictures with, and you stand next to him. So in the game, the Boomer's 9 feet tall. This is quite a bit bigger than the Boomer's traditionally been in Gears. This goes back to this idea where we wanted to take the things people remember and amplify them a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it also introduces fun ways for him to enter the battlefield. There you can see he breaks through this big truck, this tanker trailer that causes a bunch of fire and explosion, but he also doesn't fit through doorways. So if he's coming through a traditional door, he has to bust his way through. So that just makes it a little more exciting when he makes an entrance.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm fine. He's 9 foot. He can't get through here, and he just smashes it through.
Yeah.
No, I've got to say his weapon as well, because we all know the boom shot.
Yeah.
Right. This is like even bigger.
It's a bigger boom shot. Yeah. Like the Locust, when we were going back and looking at revisiting old weapons, we always wanted to see if there was something else we could do. So, you know, we've got like the prototype Lancer, we've got the heavy boom shot, means you're really committing to carrying a rocket launcher around instead of just something in your back. It's also opened up opportunities for us to add new weapons like the gut puncher, the cog grenade launcher. Yep. It's like a little more skill use than the boom shot. You can time where your grenades go. So everything kind of found a new place. And we got to make some cool variations of weapons people have seen before.
I love the breach shot as well. I think that's like
fan favorite.
It's one of my favorite guns.
It's such a
super
fun-
satisfying.
And the active reloads is popping up on screen there. I just wanted to go through a couple things because there's two features, right? One, it's in a different place than some fans may know, but also bullets are appearing a little bit earlier.
Yeah, we put the active reload down in the center screen. We found through our testing that, you know, for a lot of people, some returning fans, especially new fans, they just use it way more. If you're an old fan and you like it up and where it was, and that's your muscle memory, 100%, there's a setting for that. But for some guns, we also have this per shell reload mechanic, like on the breach shot, the Nasher. It's really cool because you can still get your active if you go all the way and you wait for it. But if you need that extra shot to get out of a clutch situation, there's a wretch in your face or in PvP a person right up on you, you can pop a load right into them as they come at you.
Yeah, so it's just like a nice way you can kind of change based on the scenario you find yourself in.
Yeah.
And talking about scenarios you find yourself in, as we've been going through this level, you've kind of been walking into areas and there are like tons of kind of clues about things we may have missed or have happened in those areas before. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so one of the main things that we try to impart is the brutality of this day. Emergence Day, 2/3 of the planet gets wiped out in one night. So if you kind of pay attention to the corpses a little bit, you'll see little storytelling things. The blood trails sometimes give you a glimpse of what has happened, the pose they're in. So there's a lot hidden in there to check out.
No, I honestly, I'm so excited. A big thank you as well for you guys coming and joining us and taking us through Gears of War E-Day. What's one thing that you're most excited for fans, right, to see with Gears of War E-Day?
Well, you know, we shared a little bit each time here. I'm really excited for people to experience this story. I think this is one of the you know, a great Gears story. It's all the classic vibes and some great new characters and some really emotional Gears moments tied in with all the brutality. I think people are going to love it.
Yeah, honestly, thank you both for coming and joining us. I really, really appreciate that.
Thank you.
And now we are going to head over to Henry for more on Gears of War E-Day, the Gears of War E-Day experience that people have access to here on the Xbox booth.
Well, welcome to the Gears of War E-Day here at Gamescom, where I've actually got artist Luke Priest with me to discuss the incredible eye candy is on display behind us. And thanks so much for joining us, Luke.
Thanks for having me, man.
Welcome to Gamescom. It's your first time here as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it's really cool.
It's a pretty special way to kick things off then, with
Yeah, definitely.
Why don't you tell people at home what it is that you do?
Yeah, so I'm an illustrator. I'm based in the United Kingdom. I've been working with the Coalition for many years now on all things Gears of War. Obviously, more recently, E-Day. So yeah, you know, that's kind of what I do.
And this project in particular is pretty special. So
yes.
Let's talk a bit about that, because I can see that we've also got Gibson involved.
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool. Talk to us a bit about this partnership.
Yeah, so we partnered with Gibson Guitars. They're amazing people at Gibson. And they sent us like these guitars. Well, they turned up and they were like from the factory, so they didn't have the art on, and then my job was to paint this artwork onto the guitars. So.
And if you don't know at home, these are particularly tasty guitars that Gibson have sent you, because we've got the SG over here, the Les Paul. These are like iconic guitar silhouettes.
Very iconic, yeah.
Amazing. Can you tell us a bit then about the design? So what inspired you to really lay down this artwork on top of these guitars?
So what we wanted to do, we wanted to tap into the pillars in Gears, so the core pillars. So obviously with the Marcus guitar, we tapped into brutality. So that's like, feels quite violent and kind of visceral and like almost like, very kind of, you know, like we tried to kind of cater it to the shape of the guitar as well. So like you can see like the blood splatter kind of flows across the guitar. You've got the kind of spinning
that saw blade just fits right in.
And the cog, obviously, which ties it to Gears. And then we've got the skull, which is kind of like shattered, so that adds that kind of violent, brutal feel. And then, obviously, moving over to the SG, we've got, this is like leaning into Dom. So this is tapping into the kind of pathos pillar.
Okay.
Which is like sort of more like kind of sad vibes and... Yeah, you know, so it's just like, and then we've got the angel wings, which is like the nod to kind of like the kind of Maria tattoo, and then that kind of flows to the shape of the SG.
Yeah, it really like fits and forms into the horns there, which is such a nice detail. I mean, how long was this project end to end?
Each guitar probably took about 40 hours from start to finish, so everything's obviously hand painted. In my studio at home. And honestly, like, it was just such an honor to work on this stuff. Like Gibson, like super iconic. I play guitar myself. I do a lot of work in the music industry as well anyway, so it like just ties in really nicely with that. So
nice. Amazing.
So yeah.
But beyond the guitars themselves, and we'll get to the controller in a sec, I do want to tell people it's not just for show, because you can actually get your hands on either one of these amazing guitars if you head over to the Gibson Instagram page and you check out their announced post for more details on how you could potentially win one of these. And people here can also scan the QR code if you come down to the Xbox booth if you want to learn how to win one of these incredible, just beautiful pieces. You have brought something else along for us because there is something else going on in the middle there. So what? Oh, you've got another one.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yes, this is a controller that I worked on. So I worked with the Xbox Design Lab on this. This is fully customizable as well.
Sick.
So you can like switch out the buttons and the sticks and stuff and make it your own. And this is tapping again into the brutality pillar.
Yeah, I'm getting that brutality vibe
so it's
straight
the
away.
vibe, and it's just try to make it feel super iconic and just have that. There's like the lanterns in there, the skulls. It feels really violent and
absolutely.
Yeah, it just taps into that kind of that vibe. So yeah.
Mate, I think you absolutely killed it with these designs.
Thanks, man.
So thanks so much for showing us
Thanks so much.
and talking us through it as well. If you want to get your hands on your own one of the E-Day limited edition Xbox Design Lab controllers, you can grab those beginning September 30th. So check out xbox.com for more information on that. I will definitely be doing that. But thank you, Luke. I hope you have a great Gamescom. But there's there's quite a lot going on here, so we're going to have to pop off and see what else we've got going. So
thank you.
Come along with me, because the rest of the booth over here that we've got, this entire segment, you can see loads of people queuing up right now to go and actually play Gears of War E-Day. So E-Day has officially landed here in Cologne. This is particularly cool. We've got a custom PC built in partnership with NVIDIA GeForce RTX. We've got the nice COG logo there on the cooler. I mean, just looks unreal. So if you're in town, come and check everything out. And then what you're going to want to see, Benny was not kidding when he said the boomers are huge, but besides the boomers, we've got a couple of other buddies that we want to be talking to, because joining me in front of this incredible statue and one of the many photo ops that we have on the Xbox booth is Senior Product Manager at the Coalition, Noah Benish, and GeForce Evangelist, Jacob from NVIDIA, to chat with us about Gears on PC. So, hello guys.
How's it going,
Welcome to Gamescom. Is this your first Gamescom, or are you veterans at this point?
Second Gamescom for me.
Second?
For me, I don't know, probably third or fourth, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
and
more.
Who's the guy you brought with us as well? Is he going to say anything?
He can say something.
You're kidding.
He can say something. Would you like him to?
We could do that, yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Okay, yeah. We'll get to that in a
Okay.
sec. Now, we should talk shop, though, because Gears on PC is... Oh, someone's getting in. That's cool.
That thing's really awesome.
That is. I would
Can
like
I
to be
take
able
that
to,
home?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it'll fit.
I don't think it'll fit in your carry-on.
We'll make it work. But yeah, tell me a little bit then about Gears on PC, because everyone here is checking out the game.
Absolutely.
We have Xbox players who are really excited. It's another console exclusive, but on PC, we've got some pretty cool features to talk about. So what exactly have you been working on that is exciting for PC players?
Well, Henry, I think broadly the most important thing to know is that Gears of War E-Day is a game that is for PC players, built by PC players. So for us at the Coalition, at a bare minimum, that means supporting all the features you'd expect from a title like this, such as 32:9 and 21:9 ultra-wide support, including 21:9 cinematics in the campaign,
oh, nice.
Extensive mouse and keyboard rebinding options, variable refresh rate, uncapped frames, and so much more that's hard to list off and mention here.
Yeah.
But beyond those sort of baseline features, we wanted to take the experience a little bit further for our PC players with advanced graphics technologies. And that's why last night we were so excited to announce that in partnership with NVIDIA, we have integrated deeply Mega Geometry into our game.
Mega Geometry, okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to need you to run through what exactly we're talking about with that.
Yeah, RTX Mega Geometry. I am super excited about RTX Mega Geometry. So Gears of War E-Day supports nanite, so you'll get really detailed like environments, objects,
And with RTX Mega Geometry, we can actually add ray tracing on all of the nanite geometry. So you'll get much better looking reflections, shadows, and I mean, it's just going to be way more immersive. You get 50 to 100 times the geometric detail with RTX Mega Geometry enabled. It's pretty amazing.
That is intense. So like, just to break it down, you've got geometry, shapes, yeah, right, yeah. Mega, pretty freaking sick. Yeah. Okay, cool. Everyone's on board now. Great. Well, thank you so much for chatting to me, guys, about everything here. Of course, that's not just what's going on here, because in the actual play area, people can check that out too, right?
Absolutely. I mean, better than talking about these features is experiencing them for yourself. So you and everyone else here at Gamescom can enjoy our first public hands-on of Campaign inside the booth behind me. We've got 20 stations, all of them PCs, all powered by the GeForce RTX 5080 that have been built by our friends at Alternate. So if you're here at Gamescom, please come check out the Campaign.
Yeah, you know what to do now, guys. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. I'm probably going to head in there shortly after this.
We can hook up with the line.
It's a bit of a big queue, though.
Yeah, I might go in.
I know a guy.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Nice. All right. Well, for a deeper look at that technology that is powering E-Day on PC, why don't you check out this exclusive behind-the-scenes ViDoc from the Coalition and NVIDIA. Check it out.
Gears of War E-Day is the next game in the Gears of War franchise. It's the story of Emergence Day. It's going back to the beginning, when the Locusts first come out of the ground and start attacking.
It is also a game that has been built from the ground up on Unreal Engine 5 with all new art and all new systems to push visual fidelity to a level we've never achieved before.
Gears of War is probably best known as an Xbox franchise, but the PC has always been a very important platform that we're using to bring the most we possibly can to the game.
The PC community is incredibly important to us. I, myself, am a PC gamer. I've been making PC games for my entire career, and we've built this game with a PC mindset.
We're trying to push a lot of technology, high detail geometry, heavily using nanite and lumen. We're going to be one of the first titles to use mega lights.
Gears of War supports hardware, ray trace, lighting, shadows, and reflections. This shows up in so many different ways. A great example is our Pay and Save. This is an environment that has TVs that have dynamic lighting coming off them and bouncing off the scene.
There's a lot of dynamic elements to the game. I think one of my favorite things is tickers, watching them run through the level. You have this little glowing creature casting dynamic shadows all over the world, casting real-time global illumination, but don't watch them too long, they'll blow up on you.
It's really noticeable on the muzzle flashes on our guns as you get this burst of flashing light and all the shadows that get cast off it. And we can have dynamic lights that sort of flicker. You can build this sense of tension and use lighting as a tool for visual storytelling and gameplay that we haven't been able to do before.
Real-time reflections is something that's very cool for us. We have some really cool elements in the game that are nice and shiny.
As you shoot glass and see real-time ray-traced reflections and translucency, all of that is dynamic in real time, which of course you wouldn't have with traditional baked lighting techniques.
All in all, ray-traced lighting brings the dark, gritty vibe that we want to life in the game and really adds a level of realism and cohesiveness that's never been possible for us before.
And on our ultra spec or our ludicrous spec PC settings, we push ray tracing even farther with higher ray trace samples, more rays, but also RTX Mega Geometry.
Le mien, il fait pas tourner ça.
We're going to be the first Unreal Engine title to show RTX Mega Geometry in our game. This is really exciting because we're a very nanite-heavy title, but there's always been a bit of a discrepancy between what's available for us to happen at raster and what's available for us to happen when we're ray tracing. Mega Geometry allows us to use the same level of detail that we're using for nanite as our ray tracing basis.
It pushes the visual ray trace scene to a higher level than we can achieve with Unreal Engine's technologies out of the box. You see some of the examples of foliage or shadow detail that is just crisper and has more fine detail in that shadow.
You definitely get a lot more detail in a lot of the rock surfaces. They look just a lot sharper and a lot more correct. And as well, things like barbed wire, things that were just not possible to represent with the amount of triangles that we had available to us, all of a sudden look really nice.
Our environments are incredibly dense. We have 100 times the geometric detail in our game than anywhere else. And being able to work with NVIDIA and bring Mega Geometry to this game really is going to show what games are going to look like in the future.
DLSS and other super sampling techniques really allow us as a developer to perform more advanced graphics techniques that just wouldn't be possible to do if we were working at full resolution. It's something that allows you to take a lower res image and then using machine learning is able to upsample that to a larger image without really sacrificing the quality.
We also support dynamic multi-frame generation, allowing you to push to the highest frame rates possible. And it's so important that we tie this with Reflex. Reflex lowers latency and improves the responsiveness of our game.
It's something we think is very important, especially in a multiplayer environment. We're a very competitive game. You want to make sure that you have your enemy in focus and your reticle over them at all times. We want a nice, smooth frame rate, and we want that ultra-responsive input latency. Customization is a huge part of why I play games on PC, and it's part of what we wanted to make sure we're delivering for E-Day players. If they care about HDR, if they care about frame rate versus resolution, we want all of that choice available for players.
I'm an ultra-wide player. I have really pushed the team to make sure that we are showing up strongly there. We have full support for native 21:9, gameplay up to 32:9, and all of our cinematics are also real-time and are rendered in ultra-wide.
Our benchmark is something that's very important to us. It was something that has always been used by reviewers for years after we ship, and it's something we hope will be that way again. This is a very technically ambitious title, and I think we're going to push hardware for years to come.
We've always built our games to showcase the latest technology and push what is possible in gaming. And working with NVIDIA, who share the same philosophy with us, we've been able to bring features like ray traced lighting, RTX mega geometry, DLSS, Reflex. For players, this means delivering an experience that feels like they're playing a movie with the real-time performance that you expect in a high-end game.
Ah, pas de choisir une fois de façon, c'est bon.
Welcome back. All suit systems are nominal. Atmospheric interference is causing data transmission issues. Proceed with mission.
J'allais dire on est toujours sur Gears, mais non, puisque c'est un FPS celui-là. Mais Gears c'est un TPS.
Alert. Power output unstable.
Ah c'est ouais, c'est Alien the Storm.
I love it when the title of a game so purely matches the gameplay, and here to break down what we just saw and give us an exclusive first look at what fans can expect in-game for Alien Deathstorm, please welcome Rebellion's head of design, Ben Fisher. Welcome.
Hiya, how's it going?
Ben, it's so good to see you. I mean, it feels like only yesterday we were hanging out at the pub, chatting Atomfall, and it seems that you and the team have been pretty busy since then as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to work on a load of different games at once, but we learned some cool stuff from Atomfall about sandbox freedom and giving the player non-traditional ways of doing objectives. We've fed that straight into Alien Deathstorm.
Ooh, I love that. Now, on that topic, Atomfall, congratulations. It's been a huge success for you guys at Rebellion. I hear it has a lot to do with maybe Benny and I's characters' face scans in the game, but you know, we won't take too much credit here. You mentioned there about applying that into Alien Deathstorm. Can you break that down a little bit? What from the project have you brought over? What design elements can we look forward to?
So the main thing is that for all Rebellion games, we value giving player clear objective and then sandbox freedom and how to achieve it. Sort of systemic game design, that sort of thing. We don't usually choreograph specific gameplay experiences, but build a possibility space for the player to take control. So exactly that same stuff has come across to Alien Deathstorm. The new challenge for us has been combining that with horror gameplay, because horror gameplay is normally quite handcrafted, but I think we found a secret formula that really makes it happen procedurally. It's very exciting.
Secret sauce, very exciting. Nice.
No, I'm really excited to see it, so should we get started?
Wait a minute.
No.
Right, now I'm ready.
What the heck is that?
You'll find out very soon.
There's a little hint in the trailer, but should we hop into and check some gameplay out as well?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Oh, hold on.
It will come up. Ah, here we go. Now, this is the Megastorm in full swing. What are we doing here?
So you play as an engineer who's been called into an off-world colony. The colony's gone dark, there's no signals coming from it. You think you're there to do a repair job to help sort the colony out, and as you explore, you discover that people have gone missing, the situation's getting worse. You're trapped there, and it's a desperate fight for survival. Now, the game balances, like I said, the combat intensity of like a sort of horror shooter with investigation and discovery. So you're, as an engineer, you're kind of exploring the situation, finding out what's happening, and as you do so, the storm is tearing the place apart. So you're fighting to survive at the same time.
Nice. Can you break that down a little bit further? The engineer's role, that's a pretty specific choice there. How does that come into play with gameplay?
Well, we wanted to give you a framing that meant that you felt like a sort of an everyman doing your best to survive. So you arrive there with a load of tools, including this giant sort of hammer here, you know, to do a bit of percussive maintenance to try and get the place up and running. So instead of doing traditional objectives where you're told exactly what to do, instead we've got a system that we call Squire that you use to kind of diagnose the situation and figure out what's going wrong. So what we can see here is the player exploring around, testing out the locations, trying to see what's happening and trying to piece together in their head how to tackle the situation in front of them. So this is a nuclear reactor that's in the early stages of meltdown, and they're going to try and diagnose what's wrong and try and fix it. So the player has to be observant, they have to engage with the environment, piece together clues that kind of frame them as a detective figuring out how to solve this stuff.
Very interesting.
That just scared me. I was not expecting the ceiling to collapse.
Well, good. Yeah.
But I was just having a look at the HUD, right? And like stuff is popping up on the HUD all the time. Can you tell us a bit about that and like what players can see on the screen?
Sure. Well, we want to give you lots of anticipation before a fight kicks off, because as you're exploring, you know, you're making a load of noise, you're causing a load of mischief, and that's going to attract some attention.
Yeah.
So there's a tracker at the bottom of the screen that gives you pings of nearby movement. It'll get scrambled by radiation and things like that. So it's like a multi-purpose tool to help them explore and understand the situation. So combined with Squire as a way of doing objectives, it makes you feel like you're there to do a job and you've got to like piece together and survive.
Who's the voice that we keep hearing as well?
Yeah, that's Squire. That's giving you little clues of what to do and how to explore, but never directly tells you exactly what to do. It's kind of like having Clippy in your pocket. You know?
I'm a big fan of the naming Squire. That's very fitting. How many iterations did you guys have to go through for that name?
Well, we always like to give things a kind of uniquely British twist, a uniquely British flavour to it, and it feels like a nice little like friendly friend in your pocket kind of thing. So it seemed like a natural fit.
Squire.
Exactly that, yeah.
Awesome. Now, in the footage as well, I can hear some of the music making that tension a bit more buildable, and you mentioned some horror scenarios too. How can fans of horror games expect Alien Deathstorm to fit into their spooks and scares like Benny did with from Rebellion?
Well, I think this is one of the most exciting parts of the game, because the jump scare that got you there might not happen for another player.
Oh.
It's all tuned around the player's exploration, the player's experiences. So, you know, as you're making a lot of noise and you're exploring, you might be attracting unwanted attention. You get a nice long bit of anticipation before the horrors turn up. But the fights and the encounters will be different for every single player.
So it doesn't matter how many times you've gone through it before, you might never be prepared for what's about to happen.
Exactly that.
That's class. Now, looking at the objective as well, right? Right now, we're trying to repair and restore power to the reactor, right? What else is around him? What other kind of resource or enemies are we keeping an eye out for? Because in the trailer we saw a lot, and right on cue.
Yeah. So the player here has been poking around, attracting attention, and that's spawned some enemies because they heard the sound and they came to take out the player. Yeah. So there's a balance, there's a tension between scavenging for resources and trying to understand the situation, but you're going to be attracting attention to yourself, so that, you know, the fight might get worse.
Is that risk versus reward all the time? You're like, actually, do I have enough, or should I just go straight for the objective?
Exactly that, yeah.
We saw a couple of different scary looking guys there as well. Have they got different names? What kind of different enemy types can we expect?
Yeah, so there is a range of aliens throughout the game. In this demo here, you'll see scuttlers there, you'll see other ones called soldiers, but there's a load more that sort of unlock over the course of the game. But as devs, we don't even know exactly what aliens will be and what encounters, because it's all procedural and dynamic.
Wow, that's very exciting.
And to defeat these aliens, right, we're gonna need weapons, just like what you've got on the desk. What weapons are players going to have in Alien Deathstorm?
Yeah, so there's a good range of weapons. You'll only see, I think, 3 of them in this demo. And they're all very kind of grounded, real-world weapons, because we felt like that kind of, that suit the tone, that kind of gritty, grounded sci-fi environment. So you'll see an SMG here, the shotgun, a pistol that's always got ammo. And you can upgrade and tailor the weapons to your personal playstyle. So as you explore, you might find things like a holographic sight to help you aim the gun, and you might choose that that's your playstyle, you might prefer it.
How does that actually work for weapons, the upgrade system in Alien Deathstorm?
There's workbenches found throughout the game, and you sort of collect crafting materials as well, and blueprints for the various parts.
Very good. Very fun. Do you have a favorite weapon that you want to talk about so far?
I always love a shotgun.
Nice.
Can't go wrong with a shotgun.
Can't go wrong there.
So let's hop back into the world a bit, because Rebellion games have always had a great reputation for like exploration, discovering and looking around for like new attachments. How does Alien Deathstorm encourage players to venture off the beaten path, especially if you're going to be like potentially running into more aliens for doing so?
Yeah, well, we strongly believe in player freedom, and like part of the fun of it is finding your route through the environment and choosing how to engage with it. So there is that risk reward, that balance of trying to find those resources and survive, but watching out for threats. So one of the ways that we tackle that is we try and make each environment you explore have a kind of internal logic to it. So this is like a space reactor, and I don't know about you, but I've never been to a space reactor myself. But we try and make sure it's got a kind of, you know, clear signposting, clear exploration, so that you can either explore everywhere for resources, or you can sort of get a quick understanding of how you're supposed to explore.
No,
but we leave it completely up to the player.
No, I always love like going on exploring, because it's like an Atom Force. I spent so long trying to search for Morris's hairline, which is just, my character was made bald as bald can be.
I don't know, it's pretty accurate. Sorry, that was hard. I mean, we've got aliens, we've got nice alien guts to look forward to as well, but what other challenges, like that one, can our players look forward to?
That was class.
Yeah, all the best games have got a white visor button, right. So, you saw that there, but also if you're out in the storm getting pelted by the elements, you might have to wipe to be able to see what you're doing as well, which can lead to some really tense, exciting gunfights where you're trying to juggle visibility while shooting the aliens and trying to survive. So it's all about that kind of immersive, gritty, make you feel like you're really in the suit.
Yeah. That was something about Atomfall that we really enjoyed, is collecting everyday items that really grounds maybe the players, or especially for me, it feels like that. So having to deal with a lot of nuisance you wouldn't normally in real life or in video games is nice touch. Very good, Ben.
It's also very helpful for putting together a cool trailer as well. Like, it's the perfect transition.
Yeah, nice swipe transition.
Now, we've said this a few times as well, like, as we're getting into these fights and the weapons that we're using, what else helps make each encounter unique that you're running into? Because you've said a few times that you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, so behind the scenes, as well as the player kind of making a load of noise and exploring, we can fine-tune to encourage encounters in certain situations, to kind of build set pieces a little bit. You know, there's a balance between dynamic and making sure that you'll have those high points. But we absolutely don't know with each time what encounter you're going to hit. All of the spaces are designed so that no matter what kind of encounter you get in them, it's going to be an interesting fight. And as you blend different kinds of aliens at once, your strategy has to become much more complicated.
I bet that must be quite a challenge when there are a variety of them around like this, swapping weapons or tactics, etc.
Yeah, so a lot of the fun in the game comes from splitting the player's attention between trying to solve the puzzle of the environment and then having to deal with unpredictable aliens coming from every direction.
Can we get into a little bit as well, like some of the equipment that you have access to? Because we just did a stim there as well.
Yeah, so in this trailer here, you'll see stims and grenades as a couple of additional pieces of equipment you've got. There are more to come in the full game. You can also throw flares to light up the environment ahead of you.
Nice, and like kind of what are kind of the, so right now, as we're kind of making our way through the level, what else should players be looking out for?
Well, at this exact point in time, looking out for the alien that's jumping at the head.
Okay, we made it to the reactor as well, is that right? Very cool.
So you never quite know when the fight's going to cool down. or if it's going to bloom back up and you're going to have to encounter more aliens. So you've really got to keep your wits about you. And in this space here, you can see that the tracker has, the scanner is noisy.
Yeah.
You know, so because you're near a reactor, it's messing with your equipment, so you lose a little bit of health.
Yeah.
So you're going to be unaware, like, exactly where aliens are going to be coming from. Also, with these big fights kicking off, what are some of the, like, most effective, like, tactics that players could, like, kind of use to get those situations? Because you obviously want to kind of thin the horde down at times so you can then go back to, like, exploring the area.
Yeah, so a lot of the time, like this encounter here, you can see that, you know, there's a fight has kicked off in this space, but the player can still do a runner if they choose to. So you've always got the opportunity to, like, reposition and choose a best place to defend yourself. And you hear the aliens coming with a lot of notice before they actually arrive, before they start climbing down the walls and piling out of the air vents. So you've got lots of time to choose a spot that you think's defensible. Doesn't always work.
That's very smart.
Oh.
Wow. That looked pretty busy there. With lots of enemies swarming us at once. You mentioned some tactics, but I don't know if I would maybe be up to it on my own. Would it be okay to ask Benny to give me a hand finishing those aliens off? Or
Well, one of the great things about all of the fights being dynamic is that if you play through with another player, you'll get a completely different experience again.
Yeah, just Bex to just be making loads of noise, like attracting all the aliens, and then I'd be having to clean up. It's a disaster.
That's crazy. Egregious. We'll see how that goes, I bet.
It'll happen on stream.
Ben, thank you so much for sharing that with us. It was always a pleasure as well.
Yeah, and remember, Alien Deathstorm drops spring 2027 as well for players.
Lots to look forward to.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy Gamescom, Ben. And for us here, this year marks 25 years of Xbox. And for many of us who have been playing since the beginning, it's a special moment. For me personally, my first ever console was the OG Xbox that I got for Christmas. Back in 2003, I had Kung Fu Chaos, Project Gotham Racing, and Rayman 3. But playing Xbox games has actually helped me cultivate a whole bunch of my interests outside of gaming. The fact I was really obsessed with SSX3, the snowboarding game.
That was class.
So much so that I took up snowboarding in real life. So I'm very happy to be here celebrating 25 years too.
I did that as well and then went face first into a hut. It was a disaster. But you know, as we celebrate the last 25 years, we can also look forward to what is to come. Like the world premieres announced today, Chosen by Odin and Dumpster Gang. Plus, with the biggest games coming to Xbox like Minecraft Dungeons 2, Gears of War E-Day, Fable, EA Sports FC 27, NBA 2K 27, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, and Grand Theft Auto 6. No matter where or how you game, the best place to play is Xbox.
Now, to a throwback making a comeback. This next game is sure to make fans of Persona 4 smile wide. We've got a brand new story trailer as well as a deeper look at what fans can expect when the revival of this epic franchise drops next year. So take a look.
Persona 6. Ah, Persona 4 Revival.
So, are you getting used to it out here?
There isn't much to do compared to the big city, but there is that certain something you can't get anywhere else.
Bring you more details about the incident in Inaba, a small town shrouded in fog and mystery.
The nicest thing about this town has been the peace and quiet. And now we're gonna be the center of attention.
Police are treating this as part of a serial murder case.
J'ai envie de me prendre le
You
collector
ever heard
de celui-là.
of the Midnight Channel? On a rainy night, you look into a TV that's turned off. When the clock strikes 12, someone else will appear on screen.
Really? An urban legend. Not even a kid would believe something that stupid.
The time has come to open thine eyes. Call upon power within.
No.
End it! It's here! Go!
No! Who are you?
I'm your shadow, and there's nothing about you that I don't know.
I don't believe you.
You're not me!
Doesn't it seem like that world in the TV has to be related to Senpai and Yamano's deaths?
Are you saying people who appear on the TV died?
Whatever's going on here, we're getting to the bottom of it.
Ouais, pas la meilleure somme rapide, mais je vois rien de nouveau pour le moment.
皆さんこんにちは。ペルソナスタジオゼネラルプロデューサーの和田和久です。先ほどご覧いただいたストーリートレーラーではペルソナ4リバイバルの新たな姿をご紹介しました。本作は静かな地方都市を舞台に連続殺人事件とそこで次第に明らかになっていく隠された真実を追い求める物語です。しかしペルソナ4は単に事件の真相を追うだけの作品ではありません。その根底にあるのは人と人とのつながり、自分自身についての真実を見つけていくこと、そしてそうした絆の中で紡がれていく人間ドラマを描いた物語です。
Someone in town is definitely kidnapping people and throwing them into the TV.
これらの対比こそがペルソナ4を特別な作品にしています。明るく青春に満ち、思わず笑みがこぼれるような親しみやすさや人との距離の近さを感じたかと思えば、次の瞬間には不穏な空気に包まれることもあります。稲葉の温かな日常があるからこそ事件の謎はより強く心に迫ります。そしてその事件を取り巻く闇が深いからこそ仲間と過ごす何気ない日々がよりかけがえのないものとして感じられるのです。シリーズ未経験の方にとっても本作はペルソナというシリーズを最も象徴的に体験できる作品の一つです。地方都市で高校生活を送り、人々との出会い関係を築きながら一日一日をどのように過ごすかを選択していく。そして日常の裏側にはテレビの中に広がるもう一つの世界が存在しています。そこで仲間との絆が力となって、自らを支える大きな武器となります。
Trust me, we know you can push your limits.
日常と非日常を行き来するこの構造はですね、ペルソナシリーズの核となる要素です。そしてペルソナ4ではその体験がさらに深い謎と結びついています。
It's the picture we took the other day with all the other part-timers.
この物語が描いているのは人が心の奥に隠しているもの、目を背け続けているもの、そしていつか隠し続けることのできなくなった真実と向き合う瞬間です。こうしたテーマこそが今なお多くの方々に愛され続けている理由の一つだと思います。ペルソナ4リバイバルの開発を始めるにあたって私たちが最も大切にしたことの一つはオリジナル版で多くの方が感じてくれたあの空気感を守ることでした。静かな田舎町稲葉の佇まい、仲間たちとの何気ない会話が紡ぐ穏やかな日常、そして少しずつ真相へ迫っていくミステリーらしい緊張感、そうした要素こそがペルソナ4の核となるものです。だからこそ私たちはその魅力の本質を大切に受け継ぎながら現代の技術や表現によって当時感じていただいた体験をもう一度味わっていただけるよう一つ一つ丁寧に再構築しました。同時に本作は単なるリマスターではなく完全なリメイク作品です。リマスターがオリジナルの魅力をそのまま現代に届けるものだとすれば、リメイクはその魅力を受け継ぎながら現代のプレイヤーにふさわしい体験として新たに蘇らせるものと言えるでしょう。私たちが目指したのはペルソナ4ならではの魅力を大切に守りながら現代のペルソナシリーズが持つ表現力や遊びやすさによって本作を新たに蘇らせることでした。そのため、ゲームプレイそのものも現代のプレイヤーに合わせて進化させています。ユーザーインターフェースの改善やバトルテンポの最適化、ダンジョン探索の快適性向上などゲーム全体をよりスムーズで遊びやすいものへと磨き上げました。初めて稲葉を訪れる人にも 久しぶりにこの街へ帰ってくる人にも自然とこの世界に引っ込まれるような体験をお届けしたいと考えています。またキャラクター表現にも徹底的にこだわりました。ペルソナ4においてドラマチックなシーンだけでなく、仲間たちと過ごす何気ない日常も非常に重要な要素。仲間同士の他愛ない会話、少し気まずさを感じるやり取り、そして突然訪れる緊張や恐怖、そうしたさまざまな感情の移り変わりをより自然により身近に感じていただけるよう一つ一つ丁寧に表現しています。
Are you sure about this?
I don't know. But all we can do is trust our instincts at this point.
さらにカメラワークや演出にも細かな調整を加え、何気ない日常のワンシーンであっても登場人物たちの感情がより豊かに伝わるように磨き上げました。ペルソナ4ならではの温かな人間ドラマを大切にしながら、キャラクターたちをこれまで以上に身近に感じていただける作品へと生まれ変わっています。
You're me, and I'm you. When you get down to it, all of this is me.
ペルソナシリーズにおいて音楽は単なる BGM ではありません。作品の空気感を生み出し、物語を彩り、プレイヤーの皆さんの記憶に残るペルソナを語る上で欠かせない存在です。中でもペルソナ4は音楽も多くの皆さんに愛されてきました。だからこそその魅力を損なうことなく、オリジナル版への敬意を大切にしながらサウンド制作に取り組みました。原作楽曲の魅力を受け継ぎながら、ボーカル曲やバトル曲をはじめ全楽曲を現代の表現に合わせて丁寧にリファインしています。さらに本作のために数多くの新曲も制作しました。懐かしさと新しさ、そのどちらも感じていただけるサウンドをお楽しみいただければと思います。さて、ペルソナ4リバイバルについてご紹介してきましたが、いかがでしたでしょうか。今後さらに多くの情報をお届けできることを我々ペルソナチーム一同楽しみにしています。最後になりますが、本作がペルソナシリーズを初めて遊ぶ方には日常と非日常が交錯するペルソナならではの魅力を余すことなく体験していただけると思っています。そしてすでに稲葉をよく知っている皆さんにも、知り尽くしていると思ってたこの街にですね、まだまだ新たな発見や驚きが待っていることを感じていただけるはずです。ぜひペルソナ4リバイバルで霧に隠されたその真実を確かめてみてください。 Who's on air?
Now, there are few games more synonymous with beautiful environments, immersive puzzles, and fluid combat than Tomb Raider. And as someone who has played Tomb Raider Legend, Underworld, Anniversary, the original, etc., so much that I can still recite a bunch of the cutscenes from memory, I am particularly excited to be talking about this next chapter in the legendary franchise. Here with an extended look at the mysteries of Peru in the new Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, please welcome Crystal Dynamics Experience Director Jeff Adams and Flying Wild Hogs Art Director Eric Tomaszewski. Welcome guys, how are you? How's your gamescom going?
Awesome, so far so good.
Yeah,
Good.
fantastic, I couldn't ask for more.
Awesome. I mean, I am so excited, as you can maybe tell, to see what you've got for us today. So set us up, set the scene. What can we look to expect from the gameplay?
So today we're going to be taking a nice in-depth look at Peru. This is Lara when she is on the hunt for the tomb of Qualopec, and so she has to engage with this iconic location, but it really shows how we are putting reimagining at the forefront to make sure we're preserving familiarity, but at the same time introducing new challenge.
Yeah. Now, Jeff, you literally just said reimagining versus like a remake or remaster. Can you tell me a little bit about what that means to your team as well as for the players?
Absolutely. In a nutshell, reimagining means preserving the things that make those iconic locations recognizable. We want to make sure that we're preserving that core DNA, but we also want to make sure that we're finding new ways to introduce new challenge, new surprise, new delight for our players. And so therefore, if you're a new fan who's never played before, you come in and you just see a really cool game experience. But if you're a fan who's played before, like yourself, we want you to come in and actually have that first play experience all over again.
That sounds great.
Yeah, just to add to on the top of that, like basically what we've got from the original one are a bunch of memories.
Yeah.
So we want to recreate those memories for the new players and just bring more people in and create those new unbelievable stories for them as well.
That sounds so good. Can we dig like a tiny bit deeper into your answers as well?
Sure.
How important, or maybe even how challenging was it to strike that balance between nostalgia as well as new exciting experiences for new players?
It's a delicate balance, and I like to say it's a combination of an exciting opportunity to get a chance to get under the hood and really kind of see what we can do, but it's also an incredible responsibility because we know that there are people that have so many strong memories. Like Lara's become so part of people's personas in a lot of ways that we want to make sure that we're really making sure that those fans are seen, but at the same time we're also giving them a chance to actually experience something new with the character. And so we take it very seriously, and everything we change or everything we modify, we do because we feel like it's basically what the original developers of the game probably were getting at, but they were just constrained by the tools of their time.
That's beautiful. Have you found the same experience, Eric, as well? The design looks incredible.
Yeah, I mean, what we wanted to do, for example, with art, we wanted to bring back the same color palette. So like when you squeeze your eyes, you can see that, you know, the original game, and just bring this subconscious idea throughout the game. But also we want to keep the key elements from the original one. So we're trying to be, like Jeff said, being super respectful to the OG, but then bring our own flavor to it as well.
Okay, I can't wait to spin my eyes then and look at the game. That's so smart. I never thought about that before. Well, can we take a wee look and see what it's all about then? What you guys have been up to?
We will allow it.
Thank you. And here she is. Oh, such swagger she's got.
Yeah, you see that familiar silhouette come into the light and you just instantly get the hairs on the back of your neck standing up.
I mean, speaking about hairs on your neck, this looks absolutely incredible. Eric, talk to us about, well done, and congratulations to you, the whole team.
Yeah, it's the team's work, but what we're trying to do is being authentic to the place that we are bringing people in, because basically Lara Croft is archaeologist, so the places she discovers and she explores, they need to be real. So in this example, we dive deep into Incan culture and architecture in Peru, and also the plants and everything, with the idea of bringing back the original feeling. So we've done what we could we've been authentic to the Peruvian culture, but also we bring, you know, it's a game, so we want to make it fun and beautiful.
Yeah, it's really, when we dove into it, we're like, okay, the cog puzzle is such an iconic part of that game. I'm going to say iconic a lot because we are dealing with an icon.
Yeah.
So, but let's say they're memorable water cooler moments that people remember so well. But in a modern gaming sense, like we have we have an ability to create a higher believability sense of immersion. And so when we really kind of step back and we look at it for what it is and how we try to make the gameplay feel naturally seated and believable in the world, but just slightly out of place, like why does this exist?
Yeah.
It sparks a feeling of curiosity. And curiosity combined with exploration is like what Tomb Raider is at a core. And so we get it on screen and we hopefully make people happy with it.
Yeah, but also when you look on the cog puzzle, we wanted to make a sense why it's there. So we created a whole narration around it. Like we created this culture that has this ceremony of bringing the cogs together to open the gate to Tomb of Qualopec. So it was really fun to just build the whole structures and logic and the whole system, why it would be there and how it worked.
I love that.
Like here's a perfect example of curiosity on display. Like Lara gets a beautiful pencil dive into the water after dislodging the roots.
But, 10 all round, by the way. 10.
Oh, awesome. But along the way, she's like, wait a minute, I see something out of the corner of my eye. The player drives in and they come into this new space. You may have never missed this unless you or you may have never seen it if you had not taken a chance to actually just look around for a beat.
I mean, speaking about looking around, is there maybe particular details that you guys are really proud of or that you want players to really notice in the environment of the game?
From an environmental perspective, for me, was the most important. I want people to immerse in a game, and I don't want to break this immersion, so I wanted to build everything with the logic. So everything, all the mechanisms, all the puzzles, they need to be there for a reason. And me and our team, like, we really work really hard to make sure that every single puzzle, every single obstacle that Lara meets, it makes sense. So, like, when you dive deep into the environment, into the world that we are playing, it's there because I want to build it, not because the game requires it to.
And we don't want the environment to feel like it's a heritage site. I mean, we're in the wild. This is a lost city, lost to time that we are discovering. And as a result, we have the opportunity to kind of do some storytelling tricks where we can actually say, hey, this is a culture that evolved in isolation for a while. So how do you preserve what we know about Incan culture, but at the same time, give it a uniqueness to say, hey, it's unmistakably Tomb Raider, but it's that way because they just evolved in isolation for a while.
Yeah.
And when you play the game, you're going to find out why.
Yeah.
Sick. And then you can have a lot of fun with the overgrown aesthetic, as well as obviously some of the dirt that Lara's picked up as she's traversing through these environments. That's sick.
Yeah, I mean, that's a part of just making sure that the environment feels like you are the person who discovered the first in a very, very long time, because that's what she does. And we want to make sure that that's how it feels as well.
Yeah, and Lara's not, she's not a delicate flower. She looks good, but she is going to get her hands dirty. She's going to dig in.
Heck yeah.
She's going to go anywhere, and she's going to follow her instincts, similar to how she's doing here. She's like, I need that cog to get that puzzle moving. I found one, but that has opened up the path to somewhere else. So curiosity is driving her. You're going to be along, helping her find that way. And we get into beautiful traversal that makes sure that Lara's physical attribute, her abilities, her athleticism is on full display in these moments.
She's at her peak, right?
She's at her peak.
Yep.
Love that. Now, the puzzles, like you mentioned, they are such an iconic part of Tomb Raider for me as well. There's so many that I remember from Greece, Egypt, all of the levels. Can you go a little bit deeper about how you've evolved them for Legacy of Atlantis?
Similar to when we talked about reimagining, it's about saying, hey, this puzzle as it existed, what was the original intent here? And if that intent is something that we are like, hey, that's a really strong guiding principle, how do we take that and make it the ultimate version of what it intends to be? Sometimes that means sticking very close to the formula. Sometimes it means deviating into another area, but we do so in a way that's very thoughtful and very precise, because we never want to make it feel like we're ignoring the history of this adventure that we're reimagining. We want it to feel like it's the re-debut of this game. And so adding new details like giving her gear items that allow her to extract more lore from the world, preserving some of those classic abilities like push-pull, traversal being fluid and dynamic. We'll get into combat a little bit later, but these are all just Tomb Raider things at the core.
Amazing.
Yeah, but just going back to the scanner thing, like, you can use a scanner if you are a fan and just want to, like Jeff said, dig deep into the lore. You can scan things and find out more, but you can also use the scanner as a clue to the puzzles. It gives you clues if you want to. If you don't want to, you can just play it your way.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's us trying to be sensitive to the players, because there are those that want to have this full breadth of systems, but we also have our hardcore players that are like, I want 2 pistols and no help.
Yeah.
And we're accommodating them as well.
Yeah, I love that. Giving players way more choice and following their lead as well. That's so cool. It sounds like you guys have done a lot of research as well and really respected a lot of the environments that you're talking about in real life, as well as creating a more fantasy realm for Lara to explore. That sounds sick.
I mean, the research is a massive part of what we've been doing, because the cultures that we've been working on recently is Incans, ancient Greece, Egypt, and we want to be respectful to those cultures and to the history that they had, and also for the players to feel like they are actually archaeologists, not just playing the game. So that's why we've done so much research.
And when we decided to partner with the Hogs on this game, co-develop it together, we knew that they were also fans of the game. I think Maddie is actually one of the designers on the
yeah.
So like we've got a designer on the team who literally used to make Tomb Raider levels for fun.
Yeah.
And he's
No way.
really well known in the community. So these are real fans that are making the game.
Wow.
But at the same time, we're also, we have a luxury of very talented developers who ask the right questions, who push in the right places to make sure we get really cool stuff that's fun to play on screen. And watching this whole process unfold over the last few years has just been a treat as a developer.
I bet. That's so special. That's so cool. What we're seeing here is Lara movement in full action there. She's got a lot of swagger. Like I said, she's got steez looking. Can you talk to me a little bit about some of the innovations that Lara's movement can be experienced in Legacy of Atlantis and how it'll feel for players to play as her?
What we hope is, we hope it feels familiar. We hope that you can pick up the sticks and you're like, wow, this is like putting on an old pair of shoes that are super comfortable. But at the same time, we've given her a couple of more tricks that she can use to help navigate the world, such as her grapple cuff that can give her some unique abilities to interact with objects, to use it to navigate. Those little touches are additive and are meant to enhance the experience while still preserving that original intent. But that cog puzzle, I mean, she basically knew she needed to find it. She used her instinct. She moved upwards through this beautiful little pocket city that was adjacent to this temple, discovered things about it along the way, got inside, found this beautiful water clock whose purpose is unknown. Yeah. She gets it,
look at her
and
go.
Look at this.
There she is. That's Lara, baby. Oh my gosh.
Lara never comes in through the front door, and she never leaves without style.
Oh, that's sick.
So yeah, we've got this beautiful landscape around us. The environment art is stunning.
Par contre, l'événement il reste propre à exister un jour. Les bras sont propres, les événements sont propres.
We want you to explore and just enjoy exploring the environment, a part of doing everything else. Like if you just want to walk around and want to figure out what was actually happening in this place and how what the people were doing there hundreds of years ago, you can do so. And just working on all those vistas, it's just so awesome. Like our teams put so much heart and passion into building the vistas like this.
Look at that. This is one of my favorite
Cinema,
moments is the postcard shots where you're alone in the wilderness. You can hear the birds chirping, the leaves rustling. There's no time clock. We want people to slow down when they play the game. We want them to say, take it in, enjoy it. You don't have to speed run it, but if you're listening and you do, let us know what your time is because we'll keep track. But that's great. It's the type of audience that we have. You know, we have people that want to challenge themselves to move through the experience as fast as they can, and those that want to sightsee. And the game just is welcoming to all.
I'll be sightseeing for sure. I've got tears in my eyes. I'm not even joking. That is absolutely incredible. Wow. I wanted to go back a little bit and talk a little bit more about Lara's toolkit and how that's evolved here. So we have mentioned her grapple hook, we saw the scanner in action as well. How is that really going to affect the gameplay for players, and what other tools has she got up her sleeve?
Well, we've got like you said, the two items that we've already discussed. Nice. And as Arik mentioned, the scanner has some dual functionality. It can not only give you some hints that are optional if you don't want to engage with it, but it also gives you some world lore. But on top of that, we've got some things under the hood in her PDA that we can use to help give her some slightly different skill attributes if you want to equip her in a certain way to help meet challenges as you can face them. We've got our crafting system because we want to make sure that, you know, finding med packs
in the middle of the jungle.
It's cool.
A little bit old school, yeah.
In a tomb 10,000 years old, has lucky that there's a first aid kit here.
What do you mean? They're not there all the time?
No.
What the heck?
So we were like, how do we make this still feel like Tomb Raider, but at the same time, like, not break immersion? And so that's where, like, crafting is a perfect add-on addition to it. It lets her scavenge the world for resources, use her knowledge and her ability to craft something useful. And on top of that, she can use recipes to provide certain gameplay buffs that are going to help give her short-term
if you want to, you
advantages.
don't have to. And you can just play the old school way, dual pistol all the way through with healing items if you want.
If you want to put your heads down and power through it, you can do it, but these things are available to you, and we think they're fun to engage with.
Amazing.
The Tomb of Qualopec waterfall gate is opened.
Done it.
Now here we're advancing to a little bit later in the game. We're now just on the cusp of a very memorable first encounter, so folks, hold on, here we go.
Oh, I remember this, I think.
But we got to do it with style.
Yes! I'm so worried you were going to include a song. That's so sick. She's so cool.
Early stages of the project, we were like, hey, you know, if we're really going to do this, we want to represent Lara in a way that she's fully recognizable. And part of that is the acrobatics. Lara without the acrobatics is still cool Lara, but not classic Lara. And here, they're on full display, but what I hope people appreciate is that there's more grounding, more believability to it in how she moves. She's still having fun, but...
It's synonymous to her, but like you mentioned, the more grounded when she was kicking the cog puzzle, that looked sick. It was so cool, but yeah.
Those little interactive moments add a sense of cinematic spectacle time to time, which is nice. It allows the game to still feel like a summer blockbuster.
Yeah. And speaking of, hello, who are these guys? Hello. The Raptor design looks really cool, Arik, as well.
Brilliant, thank you.
I love the addition of the feathers.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to keep the red color, which you remember from the original one. But obviously, our knowledge about the dinosaurs evolved so much since 1996. So we wanted, and like with everything in this game, we want to add on the top of what's been done already. So we kept the color. We add our own silhouette designs, and we added the feathers to make it unique for the Legacy of Atlantis.
Nice.
And their combat has been like dramatically overhauled. They're no longer just charging at you and just taking bullets. They're thinking, they're evading. You have the ability to use the health reticle when in aim down sight to be able to kind of assess where they're at so you can target your shots. And with Lara's combat, love seeing the axe make a little appearance. Utility gear for the win. But when she's actually in combat, she's got a loop of, assessing the situation, responding, and then moving to make sure she can then reassess. And Lara's always in motion. Her combat is fluid, it's organic, but at the same time, it helps her kind of overcome challenges and get the upper hand.
Yeah, she needs to keep moving all the time. It's like a dance for them.
Yeah.
That's sick.
And you can see a little blue dot on the bottom, which enables you to go into the focus mode, which slows down time, which is one of my favorite features in our game.
For sure.
Yeah, when that fills up, she can go into hyper focus, slow down time, and really pull off those precision shots. But if you're gonna do that, like, give her some style when she does it.
Absolutely.
Let those acrobatics shine.
Hello.
There's our girl.
That's the girl, yeah.
Yay! Oh my gosh, what was it like reimagining such an iconic boss fight here as well as the other ones in Atlantis? How was that?
From our perspective, it was just an honor to work on a T-Rex, but like we've worked for such a long time to just make sure it's perfect from our perspective, and we were trying to be respectful to the OG one. The moment when she's coming out like throughout the corner and you see the T-Rex. We couldn't do exactly this, but we wanted to have the same emotions when people see her for the first time, and then just working on a design, it was such a blast.
Yeah. And when you see her, it's like she still has some of those classic DNAs. She's got that beautiful green with that yellow pockets under her eyes, but we've also got some added elements in the feathers that also provide a little bit more of a reason of, she's in a geothermal valley. I mean, she's gonna have a little bit of plumage that feels like it matches that environment, and it just gives her this really recognizable signature look.
I just love that we added those red feathers because there's so many versions of the T-Rex, in all the medias, and those red feathering on the top of this green and yellow eyes, for me, is like beautiful.
And like chocolate and peanut butter, it's just great getting these two back together again. And seeing it like never presented before. So
T-Rexes love Lara. I love that as well. With the T-Rex and again other iconic bosses, what are you guys hoping that resonates with players, or what are you hoping that the experience from them comes across?
Yeah, no, we can take it or leave it. No, I'm kidding. We absolutely want people to be engaged. We want them to be pulled in. We want them to
have fun.
Yeah, we want them to feel like they're being put onto a cinematic thrill ride when we are ready to do that. But we also want them to feel like when we're not in that moment, they get to ramp down, explore, enjoy what we put out there for them to
Yeah,
explore.
but it's also so much fun to, recreate, like reimagine these things with the technology that we have now. And we can build a lot on the top of it with so much more narration. It's just so much fun to work on it. And hopefully people will feel it when they play it.
Yeah, I cannot wait to play it as well. Guys, I'm really honored about speaking to you, seeing all of that footage. So thank you so much for joining us. Can we go check out the booth here at Gamescom as well? I want to see that big T-Rex. Okay, let's do it. Guys, thank you so much again. Check out Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis when it launches on Xbox Series X and S on February 12, 2027, 2 days before Lara's birthday, isn't it? And it's Xbox Play Anywhere. Buy it once and play across Xbox console and Windows PC. Pre-order now. Plus, if you pre-order the deluxe or collector's edition like me, get ready to play a full 48 hours early starting February 10th. Now, guys, there is still a whole lot more coming up here on the Xbox at Gamescom broadcast, including Mega Man Dual Override, Forza Horizon 6, and I get to chat with Fable's game director Ralph Fulton and walk through the full demo that they're featuring right here in the Fable Theatre on the show floor. Heroes, wit, Power Stone, combat, and more. I'm simply chuffed. Now then, if ridding an alien planet of its most menacing inhabitants with a rig full of futuristic weaponry and S-tier teamwork is your idea of a good time, have I got a game for you? Check this out.
Et je reviendrai pour le futur game show, je sais pas quoi, là, qui est à 19h, donc dans 1 heure. Parce que là, j'avoue que je tiens plus. Je voulais voir la fin de Lara, mais voilà, bref. À plus.